Here we go. All right. Space.com, it says this. SpaceX launches classified U.S. spy satellite. This was 1 day ago. Sticks rocket landing to cap a record year. Okay, so that's launch number 26 for SpaceX, the most ever in a single year. So Cape Canaveral, SpaceX launched a clandestine U.S. spy satellite into space for the National Reconnaissance Office, the NRO, on Saturday, December 19th, marking its 26th rocket of the year. The mysterious payload, called NROL-108, lifted off from Pad 39A here at NASA's Kennedy Space Center at 9 a.m. during a planned 3-hour launch window. A used two-stage Falcon 9 rocket carried the spy satellite aloft as part of a government mission called that NROL-108, making SpaceX's 26th launch of 2020 a new record for the company. Approximately 9 minutes after liftoff, the booster's first stage produced some dramatic sonic booms as it made its way back to terra firma, touching down at SpaceX's landing zone at the nearby Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Now, the nutty part about this is they're starting to reuse these rockets, right? Which in the old days, it was one and done. You'd like fire the rocket off, and you'd have to just pick up the pieces and throw them in the trash can because they were just unusable. But now we're actually using rockets, reusing them, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. It's about time, right? So this continues. Today's flight was the 5th launch for this particular Falcon 9 first stage. The booster, designated B1059, previously lofted 2 commercial cargo missions to the International Space Station for NASA, delivered a batch of SpaceX Starlink satellites into orbit earlier this year, and most recently launched an Earth-observing satellite for Argentina. Falcon 9 blasted off into a clear blue sky Saturday morning, a stark change from Thursday's launch attempt. Thick clouds shrouded the rocket from view that day, and ultimately an issue with the rocket's second stage forced SpaceX to postpone the launch. And so oddly enough, as we continue doing this stuff and launching things into space, our orbits, our low Earth orbit and higher up ends up more and more cluttered, right? We have satellites in these decaying orbits, and they're coming down closer and closer until they finally just burn up in the atmosphere, right? That's the thing. They won't stay up there forever. But we have this, and 26 in a year, and so this is only going to continue, right? This is only going to accelerate. We're not going to stop at this point. And at 26, next year is going to be higher than this and higher than this year after year. Growths and increases of satellites in space, and then what? And then we have a big junk pile in space, don't we? So at what point does this become redundant and stupid, and why are we going to continue doing this for military purposes or otherwise? So, and not only that, so then this one in particular is it's a secret. We don't know exactly what it is. NROL-108. So there's some interesting things, interesting technology regarding satellites, and I think you guys should check this one out. Let's continue with this. Oops, not that one. We'll get to that one in just a sec here. All right, let's see. That one is, let's go to this one here. This is reported by infinityexplorers.com. Now, regarding satellite technology, okay, this is, so I was kind of looking around for maybe what kind of things that could be launching into the sky, right? Up into the atmosphere. What's happening here into orbit? What are they using these things for? And here's a fantastic article. This is an amazing article where they're talking about some new actual satellite technology. So check this out. So a new satellite by Capella Space can look inside buildings day or night. And you see the picture here. You can see that it's kind of like a X-ray vision, right, from space a little bit. This is bizarre. So as technology changes and grows and gets better, these are the types of things that are being launched into space. So it makes you wonder how often or how close is this to what was just launched, right? Like this sort of X-ray vision type technology. Now let's read some of this from the article. It's crazy. A few months ago, a company called Capella Space launched a satellite capable of taking radar images of any part of the world with incredible resolution, even through the walls of some buildings. The resolution is so sharp you can see these individual rooms. And unlike the myriad of observation and surveillance satellites that orbit the Earth, your Capella 2 satellite can take a clear image at night or day, rain or shine. Quote, it turns out that in one half of the world it is night and the other half on average, it is cloudy. CEO Pam Benezeda, a former systems engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, told Futurism, when you combine those two together, about 75% of the Earth at any given time will be cloudy, it will be night, or both. It is invisible to you, and that part is moving. Last Wednesday, Capella launched a platform that allows government or private clients to request images of anything in the world, a capability that will only become more powerful with the deployment of 6 additional satellites next year. So it makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder if this is what went up there. This is brand new. This article is from December 19th. So this is literally what's happening. This is the cutting edge technology of satellites and what they send. Well, what's being sent. So is this the X-ray vision satellite of the future that just went up with SpaceX? So here we go. Last Wednesday, Capella launched. We already read that. Is that creepy from a privacy point of view? Of course it is. But Benezeda says it also plugs numerous holes in the way scientists and government agencies can currently monitor the planet. There are a lot of gaps in the way we look at Earth from space. Most of the sensors we use to observe Earth are optical imaging sensors, he said. If it is cloudy, you will see the clouds, not what is happening under the clouds. And if there is not much light, it is going to cost you a lot to get an image that is useful. In contrast, Capella can look straight through the cloud cover and see just as well in daylight as in total darkness. That's because instead of an optical imaging, it uses synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. SAR works in a similar way to how dolphins and bats navigate using echolocation. The satellite emits a powerful 9.65 gigahertz radio signal towards its target and then collects and interprets the signal as it bounces back into orbit. And because the satellite sends its own signal rather than passively capturing light, sometimes those signals can even penetrate directly through the wall of a building, looking inside like Superman's X-ray vision. Quote, at that frequency, the clouds are quite transparent, explained Benezeda. It can penetrate clouds, fog, humidity, smoke, mist. Those things don't matter anymore. And since it's generating its own signal, it's like carrying a flashlight. You don't care if it's day or night. Capella did not invent the SAR, but Benezeda says it is the first U.S. company to offer the technology and the first in the world to offer a more accessible platform for potential customers to use. Quote, part of the challenge in this industry is that working with satellite imagery providers has been difficult, he said. You may have to send lots of emails to find out how they can collect images for you. In some cases, you may need to send a fax. What the hell? Okay, all right. So what is going on here? This is an actual satellite that you can see. Let's see. Let's open this in a new tab and look at this just a little bit closer. Now, this. I don't know if this is an actual image or this is a representation of what the technology can do. But if you look at this, if you look at the X-ray of the buildings here, like what is really happening, this is nuts. If they can do this from space now, and again, like I said, it's always suspect when you see technology like this and think it hasn't been, like the cutting edge hasn't been with the military in a very long, or for very long. They've probably had this for who knows how long, if the technology itself is not new. So this is you can actually see into these buildings. You can see particular rooms. You can see the different floors of these buildings. This technology, at least what they're showing us, you certainly can't see people, or can you? Yeah, it's hard to tell because this image is kind of a little dirty, low resolution a little bit. But who knows, right? So of course they wouldn't show us the very tip top version of this. This would be more of as an example, but that's pretty insane. So we're talking like Superman vision from the satellites. We're able to see into your kitchen from the satellites if we want to. Yeah, pretty nuts. So I don't know. Is this good or is this bad? I think the question here is. Right, we talk about surveillance states and this type of thing a lot on Troubled Minds, the other podcast we do, and this is just disturbing, right? I would call this disturbing. So if the military has basically X-ray vision that works from a satellite, do you think they have X-ray vision that they can probably like slap some goggles on and just view straight through through a building and like just on the Earth? I mean, is this a thing? I would think this is a thing at this point, that you should expect that even through solid walls, that if somebody wants to find you, they can find you.